realized that my passion projects were not really passion projects. Today I'm taking on a talent, because if you've seen any other video of mine, then you know that I love a talent. Just a little backstory. Before I started on this, I kind of had a revelation. I realized that in the last few months, because of pressure to post online consistently, because of pressure to find new clients and work on new projects and update my material, I realized that my passion projects were not really worked as passion projects by me. What I mean by that is that they were really rushed. I didn't have passion towards the projects I was working on, most of them at least, in the last few months. And it took me some time to realize that, which was a very big change in my mindset as a freelancer and as a designer. So fast forward to this decision about this specific project, and the type of the brand is, apart from that talent, that I wanted this to be an actual passion project, to show my skills, to do something that I will really be proud of. I wanted to level up a bit the amount of talent in it, and I decided to choose an industry that I am not familiar at all as a designer and also as a consumer. To know something about me, I'm not really a huge fan of alcohol in general, but I really hate anything that has to do with wine, champagne, bubbly, anything like that. And yes, I have tried many. I'm not the only one, so I'm okay with that. So yeah, that type of brand and that type of client is an even bigger challenge for me as a designer, because I have no clue. Whenever I need to pick up a bottle of wine for a gift, I always pick it out based on the design. For the purposes of YouTube and the new kind of era that I've entered as a freelancer this year, I wanted to take you with me during the process, working on it almost as an actual client project. And also I will take you through each stage, exactly how I would work and how I actually worked on the project. Some of the things, of course, will not be the same as when I'm working with a client. And the first thing that it's very different is the fact that I cannot have a discovery call. I cannot ask questions to the client to figure out what the brand is like and what they are looking for. So I've used a bit of ChatGPT, my imagination, some research about the industry, just to create a brief that I really wanted to be passionate about. The brand is called Vine and Veil. The brand is really high-end, really luxurious, really delicate and timeless, in a very expensive area somewhere in France. And they have a massive kind of land that they have a vineyard, but they also host luxury events. So I wanted to also work with two short words, and somehow I wanted them to start with the letter V. Don't ask me why. And during the first week or so, my process was, and similarly it is when I'm working on a project, is all of the discovery questions, refining the brief, making sure that I have all of the information from the client. And you can see that the mood board has this really warm, inviting, friendly, but luxurious feel to it. It reminds me of maybe a palace and has maybe emblems and really delicate lines, and maybe a variation in the weight of the lines and curves. And because of the name and because of the type of business, I really wanted those kind of curves and the vine stems, branches, I don't know what they're called. I looked for inspiration on Pinterest, of course, on a lot of different websites that have stock images that I just wanted to have a feel of how the vineyards look. I haven't been to one. I also looked at hotels and venues, event planning, some manors. Obviously, I looked at a lot of wine brands and wine labels because I wanted to immerse myself in this world that I am definitely not familiar with at all. During the next one to 2 weeks, I started being creative with the brand. I started playing around with typefaces to see what works for the vibe of the brand and what they are trying to achieve and the look and feel of it, of course. And then I started manipulating the type that I really fell in love with. I started playing with different shapes and different curves and different lines, different thicknesses. It took me many tries to achieve what I wanted and to make it look how I envisioned. I really wanted to play with the ampersand, but I was not really happy with what I was getting. And then I realized that I actually wanted to leave the ampersand a bit more neutral but still suitable for the typeface and play with those kind of stems or branches from the vines, just to create this kind of flow and luxurious feel to it. I played with a few different letters to customize them and see what works best for it. I played with the A, I played with the ampersand as I mentioned, I played with the V. Then I kind of had this weird idea of an emblem, a monogram. I didn't mind that it kind of looks like a W when you first see it because, to be honest, because we have all the rest of the logos in the logo suite, this, for me and for this project, this really needed to be an emblem. But then I kind of wanted the look of it to have kind of a royal feel to it. So I left the pointy part of the connection of the two mirrored V's and removed the extensions. And then at the end, I also added a stroke on the outside because that way the logo and the emblem can be used in even more applications. It can be enamel, it can be printed, it can be engraved, it can be anything. So it really depends, but I wanted the brand to be able to use the assets in any scenario that they would want to use them. Another day of recording because I literally can never finish a whole video in one day. I have so many things going on at the moment. But I also added a version of the logo with the art, which is probably my favorite. I think it's so elegant and it kind of gives this illusion of architectural art in the vineyard or the venue. It has this inviting feel to it, and it's also like, you know, like a label. It has character, it's soft on the top. It's really friendly, it's really, as I said, inviting, and it adds to the timelessness of the brand. So I really wanted to have this version of the logo in the logo suite. And you will see a bit later on in the mock-ups that I did for packaging that it really worked great as an element. So for the art to be part of the brand and to be used as an asset. I will show you later on a bit a wine label that I created for the purposes of the project. And then for the color palette, I was inspired by the whole mood board that I created at the start of the project. I really wanted those muted, really dark, moody greens with a contrast of a very light cream beige, just I had this image in my mind of the color of the walls outside, like the exterior of the venue. I don't know, I think it was an inspiration from the mood board that I had already created. Obviously, for the brand, it would be really cool to use gold foil and gold tones, which I actually did for the packaging. But for the brand colors, I chose three, and it's a very dark green, cool green, and then we have a kind of orange terracotta that adds to the contrast and the warmth, and it has a really nice feel to it. It also reminds me of bricks, roof tiles that I imagine that maybe the vineyard and the venue would have. So that I did the back of a business card, for example, with some embossing of the really nice emblem that we created. Don't mind the fact that the scenery has been created with the Adobe Firefly and the fingers are a bit funny, but this was the best result I got from the different options, so I just went with it. I'm not sure if I would go with this mock-up for the actual client presentation. And then we have my favorite, which is the wine bottle and the box that I felt it's actually really good. As a non-drinker and as someone that likes design and packaging design, but also whenever I need to choose a wine, I choose based on the packaging. I would definitely buy this wine, and I would definitely think that it's an expensive bottle of wine and a good quality one. And this is exactly what I wanted from the brand and how it would look and feel. Overall, I really loved working on this project. I really loved the challenge of working on a type of brand that I haven't worked before, and it kind of scared me at the start, but it also made me dive in with passion. So if you are a designer and you feel a bit stuck and you don't maybe have ideas, or maybe as I was, your passion projects don't really feel like passion projects lately, maybe that's a new way to look at them. Go out of your comfort zone, because that's where we learn the most and that's where we evolve. This project has been so out of my comfort zone that it felt exactly right for me getting out of the rut with my passion projects and to be passionate about them again and just change and recalibrate my mindset about them. So I'm really happy that I chose this project, and it was a great challenge. So if you are struggling with something similar, then I would definitely suggest you do something like this. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Bye!